Watch the lights. Green flag, hit it!
Hello everybody, and I believe I've got a bit of an echo there, sorry, let's try and correct this. Okay, so hello everybody and welcome back live here to the Simraceway Sunday race off. Apologies for the delay, we believe we've got the stream now back up and running. You take a look on board there, that was with Nathan trying to get to the edge of the track and make sure we can stream this race for you. But you take a bit of a contact there with Danny Force, he's down to P9 after his impressive start. Dimitri's up to P8 after not being able to qualify. We believe that was due to a PC error. But as they come towards the end of the first lap, there you can see just a very interesting battle there with Segadila and Shadow Bounty. At the very front of the field, it was Shadow Bounty to pole position, but Segadila is currently in the lead, leaving Shadow Bounty with a lot of work to do. As he tries to bring home this race, he's doing absolutely everything he can right now to make sure he can do that. But unfortunately, no can do as they're going towards that penultimate corner. Down the hill they come. And in towards the final corner one more time. A bit of a nudge there. He couldn't quite get that done. But as the cars come down the main straightaway once again. Been a great run there across the line. Just Segadila comes across the line back in the lead of the race. Followed by Shadow Bounty at the end of lap number 1. Bill 17 on there. Second, fourth place is Lolin Fox. Fifth, Lucy 80. Fifth place is Bolinas, who's coming under pressure there from Malox. In the inside to that very tricky first corner. They've gone so wide there and so tight. Malox can take the position, but then Dimitris jumps Bolinas, who now may be subject to a move as well from Ragster. If he does not play his cards right, the pair now will go in towards turn number 2 and 3, down that curve straight. Through the S's, and Bolinas may be looking like his time could be short-lived in that battle. He's trying to maybe catch Dimitris as soon as he can. He's going to be very careful as Ragster, as we say, breathing down his neck. He knows what he can do. And Ragster just up the inside, and he was very close to making a bit of contact there, actually. Very close indeed. But has he been able to make the move? Not quite yet. He's trying to. As he goes up the inside and towards a hairpin, it is going to be the chance that Ragster so desires. He's got plenty of momentum as he swishes that car through. Very nice job. Bolinas went wide to avoid contact and in turn has lost that position and down to P9. Meanwhile at the front, Shadow Bounty back in the lead of the race, battling with Segadila, who's come right back up the inside. In towards a hairpin, Shadow Bounty surely have to try and brake a lot later. Segadila's played his cards. Oh, a blind card there. And Shadow Bounty cuts right back underneath. Thank you very much, Bill 79. Waiting for a mistake there in P3. Lolin Fox also. He fancied a chance at third place for a moment there. And look at that pile of cars. P1, 2, 3 and 4 separated by virtually nothing. Under a second at this stage as they come across that all-important reverse turn 8, as I call it. Shadow Bounty, we say, in the lead by 3/10 at the moment. Finally broken away a bit from Segadila. He's looking into the final corner now and is leaving the pan camera there. Lolin Fox goes up the inside of Bill 79 and is able to take P3. There goes P5 of Luke Sky 80. Then Dimitri's in 6th, Rags to 7th, 8th place for Malox and 9th for Valinas. And then all the way in the very far end of the field is Lone Wolf Gam, who's currently in P10, but backing towards that battle for P3. Lolin Fox is maintaining it round the outside. He's got a bit wide, drifts the car, spins the back end right out from underneath him. And we've got a yellow flag. I believe that could just be a car, yeah, in the wall, just keeping control. So a massive thank you to No Fear once again for providing this stream with us today, whilst Simraceway have technical difficulties as the cars go through the S's once again. And Lolin Fox just trying to keep his car firmly planted. Again, we know what he can do. And as they go through there, bit of a lock-up, I believe that was by Segadila, actually. As they go into the short straight, you can just see that entire top 5 go through. There goes Shadow Bounty, with now what seems to be around a 2/10 gap over Segadila. Bill 79 3rd, Lolin Fox in 4th. There goes Luke Sky in a world of his own, being caught though by Dimitris. Want to watch an eye on that. Dimitris and Ragster dueling away. Ragster up into P6 now after overtaking Dimitris. Couldn't come back on the inside. Segadila wasn't happy about something, and that's why, because Bill 79 is all over him now. As he tries to come up the inside, let's see what he can do. Makes better of that one. As they're going towards that hairpin, and then he can't quite make it stick. Segadila holds on just a little bit more, but he's come out wide. And Bill 79 says thank you very much. Lolin Fox will take the second. Lolin Fox still trying to get side by side as well. He took an almighty thwack there actually by Segadila, who's now finding himself down to P4. He was P2. Overtakes Lolin Fox there for 3rd. But Luke Sky, Ragster, Dimitris and Malox having a little war of their own actually back there. He took a ride on board there with Dimitris. He's trying to push his car past Ragster at the moment. Looks to the inside. He couldn't quite get it done through there. He's doing the best he can, as we say. Just looking for every opportunity he possibly can to put the move on. We approach the halfway stage as the drivers come towards the end of lap number 3 out of 10. In towards the penultimate corner they come. And there you can see Dimitris and Malox just trying to get a run on each other, but it's still Shadow Bounty in the lead. Bill 2nd, can't quite keep up with him, and poor old Segadila's in the pit lane, serving a stop and go. Segadila is serving a stop and go penalty, and it's all the way down in P10. The only car he hasn't been passed by as of yet is Danny Forster, who's also got to serve on, we think. And he's after game. Segadila, the man who was 2nd place, is now out of the game. And that's going to be so crucial for this race, because that means Shadow Bounty's got himself a massive 1.5 second gap over the next car. Trying to get a little bit of information for you guys as to what's going on and what the current gaps are between the two drivers. Here we're looking at on screen, here with Shadow Bounty and Bill. The gap has not actually changed all that much. If anything, Bill's gained a little bit of time on there. He's still 1.7 seconds away, but he's actually, oh look at this! I was going to say it was a bit quiet at the front of the field. Luke C80's just been turned at the chicane, and he finally puts the car in the right direction again. But it's a massive swarm of cars now. Luke Sky was up to P3. He's now being wrestled to the ground by a very hungry pack of Mitsubishi Evos. They all want a piece of the action. And you can just almost feel the tension as Ragster fights his way through. Back up front, Bill and Shadow dueling away. A big slide there by Bill 79. Ragster goes up the inside and almost 3 wide as Dimitris tries to back out. He's gone off. and he just opposite locked the car. He swerved it back on in a kind of drifting style, but has unfortunately gone back down now to P7. And there you can see Malox as well, also just trying to duel away. Luke Sky's been a bit wide through there again as he tries to reclaim that place off what Ragster took from him, perhaps. But they're in second. Third is Ragster currently trying to break away from that pack who's being headed by Belinas. That's 5th, 6th and 7th. Belinas, Dimitris and Malox, both of those guys just doing everything they can at the moment. Dimitri's trying to get the better of Malox, who went for a move on the inside. It just wasn't enough in the end, though. We took a look there as Bill 79 came across the start-finish line. Belinas goes a bit wide, actually, as they go through there. Up into turn 1 they go. We've got stop and go, apparently, for Belinas. Now, I'm not too sure the reasoning behind that. Again, we'll try and keep you updated as he now comes under attack from Malox, who locks his brakes slightly. Belinas tries to cut in too deep, it's too little too late. He loses a position and the back end, in fact. As Dimitris Giannopoulos can try and find his way through now. And now Dimitris wants a bit of the action. He would love to push his way through. Hasn't been able to achieve such a feat just yet, though. He's been all over that rear end, looking at every opportunity he can as these cars coming up to that halfway point. The two leaders, Bill and Shadow, leaving the rest of the field for dust at the moment. The gap, however, has increased 0.2 of a second further and is now 1.919 seconds between Shadow Bounty and then second place man Bill 79, who's, as you say, desperately just trying to reel those 10th of a second in. Crucial when you've got as many straights as you do here at COTA. You need to try and make as much of them as you can. And really just push on as the time wears on, the laps go on. The drivers can feel a little bit more endured, if you will. You know, they're not as feisty, they're not as aggressive, they just want to try and bring the car home. And as you say, it's such a long lap here that it really is almost like 2.5 minutes a lap, meaning that whilst it may only seem like 10 laps, it's almost half an hour, I'd say, in terms of actual racing these guys are going to get today. And that's still a bit long for these Evos, and some of them, you know, maybe in their first race, guys like Luke Sky 80, for example, who currently sits in P4, may not be used to that kind of distance. And whilst he's currently at the head of that absolute warpath that has been created behind him, Malox, Dimitris and Lolin Fox now, who's actually dropped back. Belinas rejoining the battle as well. You've got to wonder just, is it going to be too little too late? Is there going to be plenty more action? There's only one way to tell, and that's just to really try and keep a keen eye as to what's going on the circuit. Something our cameraman's doing a very nice job of thus far over here at Twitch TV. So a massive thank you to No Fear for setting this one up here today. But there you can see just Dimitri's P6 trying to maybe push on here. And I've been informed as well that Dimitri's, I believe, does use a keyboard, if I'm not mistaken, or a joypad, or I think it may be a keyboard. Yeah, so Dimitri's could be a keyboard racer, and to be as quick as that, well, you know, we've seen how quick Dimitri's is. He's been on the podium here before in the Sunday race off, and to see how quick he can be while racing with a keyboard is truly a great feat. It just shows that you don't need to be the fastest racer with a Logitech G27 or the Simraceway SRW1 to get yourself into one of these events. Just sign up over at simraceway.com, go on the race of the weekend, and you too can find yourself in the spotlight here in the official Simraceway live stream and be fighting for some prize money as well, depending on what event you enter. Malox is currently heavily defending at the moment from Dimitri. May have got a bit of a better run through that right-hander. Malox has received a stop-and-go penalty. I'm guessing that could have been for corner cutting. However, I believe he may have been a bit forced there by Dimitri. It's very aggressive racing. Dimitri's now broken away from the guys behind. Wants to try and push on to Luke Sky 80, and then of course Ragster up in front. Rags has pulled out a vital lead. Let's take a look at lap times in a moment and to see how the guys are comparing at the front of the field. We've got roughly another minute and a half before they actually take to the start-finish line. But the theory being, if they do get there, then we're going to see some incredible action between Shadow Bounty and Bill 79. Lap times all crucial here. We've only got roughly 4.5 laps of racing left. But those 4.5 laps could entail some of the most fantastic racing we've ever seen here at the Simraceway Sunday race-off. And, you know, we've had 30 of these events now, and the racing, I swear, does keep improving. Especially with these Evos, they just never cease to amaze us of how competitive and beautiful they look around the Circuit of the Americas track right here in the heart of Texas. So Shadow Bounty's about to round the final corner. We'll keep an eye on this last stretch then and see just who's about to complete their laps and what the current time is, who the fastest man around this circuit is at this current time. Shadow Bounty crosses the start-finish line right now with a lap time of 2 minutes and 37.2. 2 minutes 36.9 by Bill. Bill is gaining. It's much quicker that time round. That gap down to 1.7 now. What was Rags to do? And he needs a 2:36.9 to be quicker than the man in front. Gets a 2:38.3. And look at Demetrius Guillen is all over Luke Sky. 2 minutes 38.9 for him, 2:40 for Luke Sky as Demetrius goes into turn 1. And he's surely going to take that position. Lolin Fox a 2:38.8, 2:45 for Malox. I think Lone Wolf will also be a bit slower. But a massive jump there for Demetrius. Is all over. Back up into P4. Luke Sky relentless though in defending. He does not want him to move away with that position. 4 laps of racing left here during this race, so it's kind of now or never for these drivers. And Belina's there apologising for something. Let's take a look. I think that could be a corner cutting thing. There's no other car there, so I'm assuming it has to be just that. But just taking a look now, actually, as the cars come across the start of the second sector. And just how hard they've pushed as well. I mean, we've already seen how intense this racing can be with these Evos today, but it seems they're leaving a lot more on the track. Cota's one of those circuits where it can leave so much to the driver. It really does add for a lot of insensitivity, if that's a word. Like insensitivity, but intensity. I'll brand it. It will be in the Oxford Dictionary next year. So, but I mean, just look at a prime example of that. The battle for P4, inherited, as we say, by Demetrius. Lolin Fox goes up the inside, and the great thing I love about Kota is Lolin Fox spins in the wall. And he's going to be careful not to rejoin the track. Oh, and as his racing shatters now, it's like a beautiful mirror has just been shattered on the ground. Lolin Fox is off the circuit to make way for the other cars. I'm sure that penalty will be revoked. He lets Malox through, but just like that, I think we may put a commentator's curse on it, but the great thing about Kota is that there are so many overtaking opportunities, and when there is one, you do have the opportunity to cut back the next lap. It's not just like you overtake a car, that's it, job signed, sealed, delivered. You've got a lot more work to do. You've got to be careful of a counter-attack, wary of that car who's going to come right back up your inside or right back round your outside for that slipstreaming manoeuvre and really punish you for any little mistake. Whilst there's a lot of runoff area, it is so easy to lose the back end of these cars. I think it was Redline Racer saying with the Caterhams earlier on, that, or the Atoms in fact, that they're too fast. There's nothing to stop, you know, flying off. They're so nimble and so agile. The downforce is so low. With this circuit mixed in as well and the sheer elevation changes, it really can add to some very exciting racing. These Evos, of course, being no exception. Road cars, as we say, at the end of the day. So for them to be flying around this circuit of the Americas right here, as we say, in Austin, it is a truly great feat to be watching. Everyone knows what these cars are capable of, the speeds they can get up to, but it's all going to be a case of, can they maintain them? How quick can they push as the race draws to a close? And now was Lone Wolf going off a bit there, but Lone Wolf actually up to P8 due to, I'm presuming, to be the mistakes of the other drivers around him. So Lone Wolf has done a very nice job there to get himself inside the top 10 safely in 8th position at the moment. So we're just waiting for the final couple of laps to get underway. 3.5 or 2.5 laps really left in this Evo race, and the best part is we've still got one more race coming up. So if you like what you saw earlier on with the Caterhams and the Ariel Atoms, then you're in for an absolute treat to end off this 30th edition of the Simraceway Sunday Race-Off. Caterhams and Ariel Atoms will fly around the Circuit of the Americas in just a few minutes' time. Of course, you've got to wait for this race to come to a close first. You saw that was Malox actually battling with Lolin Fox there. See that battle still raging on? Indeed it is. Malox is heavily defending as they're going towards a hairpin. Lolin Fox will be up the inside. Careful not to lose the car, and Malox almost did. He's gone very wide there. Lolin Fox has punished him for it. Thanks for the present there. I'll wrap that up and put that under the Christmas tree. Lolin Fox moves into P6 with 2.5 laps to go. But just up in front. Oh, big nudge there as Luke Sky has a bit of argy-bargy with Dimitris Giannopoulos. Trying to see what the battles are raging on at the moment. The main one being this as they start the penultimate lap. Luke Sky trying to go up the inside there. Dimitris, careful, get a bit of a nudge. Tell you what, Luke Sky has made a very good name for himself here today. You know, he's been consistent. He's got himself up into the top 5 in his debut race here in the Sunday Race-Off. And more than anything, he's proved to be a fierce competitor. He's been battling all race long. You can't keep the camera off that young man. It'd be great to see what he can bring as the future evolves, but tell you what, that's a prospect to be in an A-race in the future, I can assure you. He said the same, if you remember, about guys like Anxiety. Since then, he's rocketed up into the A-races. He's been there consistently, taking a victory or two. And there Luke Sky is just trying to hold off P4 at the moment. Dimitri's going to come right back round the outside. Cut back underneath, is he? He needs more momentum than that to make that move work, that's for sure. He's desperately trying everything now. He wants a much better run. And to come out of the chicane now onto the short straight here. And Dimitris is surely going to try and move into the hairpin. He comes down the hill. Dimitris has a lot more momentum. Back up they go. It's so much harder breaking uphill. Lolin Fox joined to cavalry actually, so Lolin Fox has come right back in. As has Malox, so despite his spin earlier on, Lolin Fox has been eking the time out of the front two cars in front of him here, and he's just been trolling along. He really cannot get enough of this. Dimitri is now on the outside, provisionally in the lead of that battle. Lolin Fox coming in hard and fast, so into the hairpin. That's surely going to be a big move there. It's going to be 3 wide maybe. Lolin Fox has to be careful not to swipe the back end. And in fact, he's overtaken Luke Sky. He's got that corner all sideways there. And Luke Sky is down to P6. Lolin Fox now on a recovery drive. A bit of a nudge here to Dimitris. However, he is pushing very hard indeed. Got a very wide line to cut in tighter, I'm assuming. As I'm coming towards the final couple of corners, our 2 race leaders have started their final lap of the race here today. Bill 79 currently 3 seconds adrift from Shadow Bounty, so it's not all set in stone just yet. We've still got quite a little way to go here. And by that we mean we've still got another lap or so, and with only 3 seconds away, you've got to wonder if Shadow Bounty does make a slight error, then he's going to be punished for it.
This is the final lap. Keep it going.
So just trying to watch Shadow Bounty's line there. He is a lot more aggressive on the throttle than Bill 79. You've got Dimitri still leading that battle with Lolin Fox there. Then Malox and Luke Sky all separated out very nicely at this stage. Shadow Bounty really attacking those downshifts. He's going all out trying to make sure he goes down gears as quick as possible. He's really not hanging about here today. Bill 79 though still, as we say, done a very good job here today to be able to keep with our race leader. Ragster's in third. He's broken away from the pack and driven a race by himself here today, it's got to be said. He hasn't exactly been in all the action, but he has been consistent. 20 seconds behind the leaders, 10 in front of Dimitri's. He's done a sterling job of bringing home a solid P4 or P3 there. He can keep the car where he's currently is at the moment. Right there goes Ragster past us right now in the commentary booth. Dimitri's and Lolin Fox just trying to settle this battle on circuit as quick as they can. So you've still got quite a long way to go. They've got roughly a half a lap. Lolin Fox wants to fancy a move though on Dimitri's Giannopoulos. It takes a bit too much apex, I fear. He's tried to swoop it round. He's going to be very close in fact. Come right on the outside. That's played out perfectly. He's made it stick. And Lolin Fox has gone very sideways there though. Dimitri trying not to hit him. Very aggressive driving by Lolin Fox, and it has been rewarded with a top 4 provisionally. Dimitri will not let him go back up the inside. Great touring car style racing here. And Lolin Fox has really taken that to another level. He's trying to make this stick now. They realise it's the final lap. Talking of which, Bill 79 comes second, but it's Shadow Bounty who wins the Evo race here today in the Sunday race off week number 30B. As we say, Bill second. Third place there will be Ragster. We'll watch him come across the line now. And then it's just a panic of who's going to take home P4. Ragster, solid podium there. He'll be delighted with that one. Lolin Fox is currently P4 into the final corner, but Dimitri has more momentum. And he's gone wide. Dimitri snatches 4th corner in the very final moments. He'll be happy with that. A deserved P4. 5th for Lolin Fox, 6th for Malox. Luke Sky 18 manages a P7 on his debut here in the end. A solid run there. Lone Wolfgang, we presume, will be able to keep in front of Bolinas, and they will round out your runners for today's race. We saw Danny Force there as well in P10, and Segadila are one retirement of today in P11. Bolinas throwing the car into the final corner though. He's trying everything, and that's great to see, isn't it? In the chat afterwards. Great race there. To the other drivers there messaging each other, and great to see that race in respect as Lone Wolf comes across the line to take P8 and Bolinas also to take P9. So fantastic display of driving there from all involved. If you like what you've seen here, as always, be sure to head over to simraceway.com and sign up for a completely free game. It's completely free. Some of the cars and all of the tracks are free, so you can get involved in an event like this whenever you wish. So be sure to head over there or stick around for the Simraceway Sunday Race Off A race, which sees the Caterhams and the Ariel Atoms back again at the Circuit of Americas. We'll see you then.